The incredible, the incomparable, the iconic Tina Turner passed away this week at the age of 83 at her home in Switzerland. The Queen of Rock and Roll leaves behind a remarkable legacy, a musical career dating all the way back to 1957. She's the voice behind some of the most famous songs in history: Proud Mary, The Best, and What's Love Got to Do with It, to name a few. She won countless awards throughout the decades, including 12 Grammy Awards and the Kennedy Center Honors. Turner is, of course, most known for her music, but as the tributes pour in for this extraordinary artist, I wanted to take a few minutes to highlight her brief but fascinating detours into the world of film. Did you know that one of the films she acted in was an Oscar nominee? Were you aware that another one co-starred Arnold Schwarzenegger? In this video, we're talking the cinema of the late, great Tina Turner and everything she accomplished as a film actress. Many music icons throughout the years have dabbled in film or even made a major play to be a movie star, but not Turner really, as we'll get into. But think of Madonna, who in the 1980s and 1990s had some big critical hits, like A League of Their Own in 1992, and Evita in 1996, which earned her a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress. And you have Cher as well, who recently hasn't been in too many movies, but there was a period there in the 1980s where she wanted to prove herself as a dramatic actress. She most definitely did, receiving an Oscar nomination for Silkwood, and then winning the Oscar for Moonstruck. Tina Turner never got an Oscar nomination, but her first appearance in a film playing someone other than herself was in an Oscar-nominated movie, the wildly ambitious and memorable 1975 fantasy drama operetta Tommy, written and directed by Ken Russell. Based upon The Who's 1969 rock opera album, the film featured such notable actors as Anne Margaret, Oliver Reed, and Jack Nicholson, along with music legends like Elton John, and of course, Tina Turner as the Acid Queen. What a way to get started in the movies, playing a prostitute who deals in prophetic LSD. According to IMDb, the original choice to play the Acid Queen was David Bowie, and then at some point the role was offered to Mick Jagger, but to accept the role he insisted on singing 3 of his own songs in the movie, so he was passed over for Tina Turner. The Acid Queen is not a quiet, understated character. It's a role that required a big and bold performer willing to take chances, and Turner gave everything to her absolutely electric turn. The sequence of her singing Acid Queen a total showstopper. She eats up every second of her screen time, clearly relishing her outlandish costumes, Ken Russell's ambitious filmmaking, making her pop off the screen. You can't take your eyes off her, and part of me wonders if she had gotten more screen time with some more dramatic moments, if she would have had a shot at some awards prizes. Tommy did get 2 Oscar nominations in early 1976, a Best Music nod for Pete Townsend, which he lost to Leonard Rosenman for Barry Lyndon, and a Best Actress nod for Anne Margaret, who lost to Louise Fletcher for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This was Anne Margaret's second nomination, after receiving a Best Supporting Actress nod in 1972 for Carnal Knowledge. Now, I don't think Tina Turner came anywhere close to a Best Supporting Actress nod for Tommy, but this was still a notable film debut that showed if she wanted to have a career in film, she could have really excelled there. She's luminous in Tommy, a total movie star right from the get-go, and it's hard for me to imagine filmmakers seeing her in this weren't offering her roles in the late 1970s and early 1980s. But some gifted singers just want to stay singers, and that seemed to be the case for Tina Turner. Her merely dipping her toes into the film world makes me think of the also amazingly talented Diana Ross, whose film debut performance in 1972's Lady Sings the Blues resulted in a well-deserved Oscar nomination. I actually think she might have won that year if Liza Minnelli weren't in the category. Ross should have gone on to have an incredible film career, but after making just 2 more theatrical films in the 1970s, Mahogany and The Wiz, she for the most part focused on her music career moving forward. Tommy could have been it for Tina Turner, a quick lark into movies that was never to be repeated, but there is of course one more giant film role to talk about, and that's Auntie Entity in George Miller's 1985 post-apocalyptic action film Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, starring Mel Gibson, the 3rd film in his wildly popular dystopian series. Mad Max and the Road Warrior put Miller on the map, and the 3rd entry in the franchise gave him the biggest budget yet. Mel Gibson's career was exploding at this point, but he still chose to return to his breakthrough role one last time, Max, a drifter, traveling with a group of abandoned children who rebel against Bartertown's Queen Auntie Entity, played by Turner.
Ain't we a pair? Raggedy Man.
This is easily her most three-dimensional film character, and really the one time she was called upon to deliver a strong dramatic performance. She totally succeeded as the glamorous Amazon-like figure who will stop at nothing to get what she wants. She's brutal, ruthless, but also cultured and thoughtful, wanting to rebuild her society to its former glory. About the character, George Miller said, "We needed someone whose vitality and intelligence would make her control over the town Bartertown credible. She had to be a positive character rather than a conventional evil bad guy. We had worked on the script with Turner in mind, but we had no idea if she'd be interested." Apparently, this role came along at just the right time for Turner to step away from music for a few months and devote herself to a film project. Her popularity was at an all-time high. Her multi-platinum album Private Dancer, released the previous year, Jane Fonda and Lindsay Wagner were considered for the role, but Miller wanted Turner despite her limited acting experience, and she ultimately said yes. It wasn't an easy shoot by any means. I mean, really, what Mad Max movies are. Tina Turner had to shave her head for her wig to fit properly in the movie, and she reportedly had no problem with doing that. In 1985, around the time of the film's premiere, she talked to Bobby Wygant about the difficulties in making the film.
First of all, tell me about that costume. Now, it looks like it's made of chicken wire and God knows what else.
Underneath the framework for the shoulders and all was a dog muscle. The muscle for the dogs and the wire, all wired together to make the shoulders, and it would break and it would cut into the body. I mean, it's the one take when you're really moving or something that you wouldn't dare go ouch because you're trying to get the take, you know. So I had all kinds of little cuts. It was little tapes here and there, but I had massage every night and hot baths, and I was determined. I didn't care if it killed me. I was going to wear that dress and I was going to play that part.
One problem she didn't have, though, was infusing Auntie Entity with grit, passion, and humanity. This was absolutely her crowning achievement in the movies, stepping away from the Tina Turner persona and creating a complex character of the highest order, with power and flaws and endless charisma. It certainly didn't hurt having Turner be part of the production, since she later sang two banger songs for the soundtrack, one for The Living, which plays over the opening titles, and We Don't Need Another Hero, which plays over the end credits, the latter receiving a Best Original Song nomination at the 1986 Golden Globe Awards. The film was passed over at the Oscars, though, and it was a box office disappointment, earning about $36 million in the United States, and putting an end to the Mad Max series for 30 years until the blockbuster Fury Road knocked us all sideways in the summer of 2015. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome is certainly a cult movie, though, with lots of fans all around the world. I rewatched it recently, along with the other three Mad Max films, after devouring Kyle Buchanan's amazing oral history book, Blood, Sweat, and Chrome, The Wild and True Story of Mad Max Fury Road. Thunderdome is so much different from the other three. It's a lot weirder, to be sure, more contained, focused more on character relationships than non-stop action, and that's where Tina Turner becomes so invaluable as a performer. Her acting instincts on point every step of the way, her character of Auntie Entity, one of the great creations of the Mad Max franchise. Roger Ebert gave the film 4 out of 4 stars, placing it on his top 10 list of 1985, and for her performance, Tina Turner won the NAACP Image Award for Best Actress in 1986. Sadly, this is basically where Turner's career in movies ended, although she does pop up in a fun cameo in the 1993 action film Last Action Hero, playing LA's mayor. Here's her moment with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Jack, I know as mayor of this great metropolis, you and I have had our little test, but this is the lieutenant governor.
Later, here's what I... The governor gets here, call me.
And I know she's not technically in the movie, but Turner's delivery of the opening title song Goldeneye in the 1995 Pierce Brosnan and James Bond film is impeccable, one of my favorite songs in the franchise's history. And one more major impact Turner had in movies was in having her life story told in the terrific 1993 musical biopic What's Love Got to Do With It, starring Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne, based on Turner's 1986 autobiography. The film was a critical and commercial success and earned Oscar nominations in early 1994 for both Bassett and Fishburne. If you're interested in learning more about that exciting Best Actress race and this incredible film, check out my video, Angela Bassett and the Elusive Oscar. Again, I'm kind of surprised Tina Turner didn't go after more acting roles throughout her many decades in the industry, since she's such a force to be reckoned with in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. It's unfortunate we didn't get a few more dramatic roles from Turner in film, but her legacy as a performer is one for the ages. She is one of the greatest talents of her generation who will never be forgotten. Tina Turner, 1939 to 2023. We love you. We miss you. Thank you for everything you gave to us in the world of music, and yes, in the world of cinema.